life problem. That is a scoring problem. So the first correction is to fix the scoreboard. You must separate performance from progress. Performance is what you show. Progress is what you become. Performance can be staged, but progress cannot be faked for long. Performance can be fast, but progress often has a slower rhythm because it includes correction, discipline, and learning. If you do not separate these, you will start to resent the process that is actually making you better. And when you look closely, the people with real results usually move through that slower rhythm. The people who build real capacity spend long stretches doing unglamorous work. They keep their promises to themselves. They work when they do not feel like it. They practice the basics. They fix the small errors. They improve their thinking. They build skills that are useful even when nobody notices. Then, later, when something shows up on the outside, it looks sudden to the public, but it was not sudden to the person who did the work. And that's why speed is such a misleading judge. Another trap is the belief that speed proves worth. In a loud culture, fast results get celebrated. Slow results get questioned. That teaches people to value quick wins over strong foundations. But a quick win without structure is often a future problem. A person can get a little success and then be crushed by it because they did not build the discipline to handle it. So you have to decide what kind of winning you're after. You do not need to win the approval contest. You need to win the character contest. You need to win the skill contest. You need to win the consistency contest. Those are quiet contests, and the prize is a life that works. A life that works is better than a life that looks good in a snapshot. And when you choose the quiet contests, you start noticing how much of the noise is really insecurity in disguise. Some people are constantly collecting evidence to show they are doing well. They feel uneasy if they cannot point to something public. They feel anxious if they cannot prove their progress to someone else. That anxiety becomes a leash. It makes them chase things that are easy to display instead of things that are hard to build. Which is why seriousness tends to come with privacy. A person who is serious has a different relationship with privacy. They do not need to advertise their practice. They do not need to announce every intention. They do not need to turn every step into a presentation. They understand that the workshop is not a stage. They do not confuse noise with value. And the point is not secrecy, it is independence. This does not mean you hide forever. It means you do not depend on being seen in order to keep going. It means you do not mistake attention for achievement. It means you do not let other people's public moments define your internal pace. You set your pace by your goals, your responsibilities, your character, and your commitment, not by someone else's display. Because once you let the outside world set your pace, it will start setting your choices. If you let the outside world rush you, you will make poor decisions. You will choose shortcuts. You will take on projects you're not ready for. You will skip preparation. You will try to look ready instead of becoming ready. Then when pressure arrives, the weakness will show up. Not because you lacked potential, but because you traded steady building for quick presentation. So you come back to what actually works and you keep it simple. The solution is to return to a simple principle. Your life is built in private before it can be lived in public. Your discipline is developed in the unseen hours. Your confidence is built by keeping small promises. Your capability is formed by repetition, correction, and steady effort. None of that needs applause to be real. Once you accept that, it becomes easier to see what's actually distracting people. People who keep their eyes on the crowd get distracted from the work. People who keep their eyes on the work eventually earn their own results. The first group gets exhausted trying to keep up with images. The second group gets stronger by improving what they control. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is what they choose to measure. So you stop measuring what's loud and start measuring what lasts. Measure what matters. Measure your consistency. Measure your output. Measure your learning. Measure your follow-through. Measure the quality of your habits. Measure your ability to do the right thing when it is not exciting. Those measurements will build a life that lasts, because the visible world has a way of making healthy growth look like failure. The greatest danger of this visible world is that it can make normal growth feel like failure. It can make the slow stage feel like defeat. It can make the basic stage feel embarrassing. But that is only true if you are trying to compete with presentations instead of building your own real strength. When you stop chasing the public scoreboard, you can return to the real work. And the real work is where your future gets constructed. And the reason so many people quit is that they keep judging the wrong evidence. Most people misread what is happening in their lives because they judge progress only by what shows up on the outside. If they cannot point to a clear, visible change, they assume nothing is happening. That assumption has caused more quitting, more doubt, and more wasted potential than almost anything else. You must understand this. Some of the most important growth you will ever experience will happen in a way that cannot be seen right away. If you want proof of that, look at what real strength actually is. Think about what it takes to build a strong person. Strength is not only what you can show. Strength is what you can handle. Strength is what you can carry without breaking. Strength is what you can endure without panicking. That kind of strength is developed quietly. It is developed in repetition. It is developed in routine. It is developed in the part of the journey where you wake up and do the work again, even though it feels like the day looks the same as yesterday. Which leads to something most people don't know how to name. I've come to learn that there is a stage in life where you are building capacity before you are building results. Capacity is not exciting to talk about, but it decides everything. Capacity is your ability to stay steady when things are uncomfortable. Capacity is your ability to keep going without needing a dramatic signal that you are winning. Capacity is your ability to do the basics well when nobody is watching and nothing is changing quickly. And that's why the flat stretch gets misunderstood. Some people hit a flat stretch and they call it a dead end. They say they're stuck. They say they're not improving. But really, they're not stuck. They are simply in a stage where the improvement is going deeper than the part that can be shown easily. What is happening is not flashy, but it is real. Your mind is learning. Your body is adapting. Your habits are settling in. Your judgment is getting sharper. Your emotional control is getting stronger. Those are not small things, even if they are not visible. This is why repetition gets such a bad reputation. Repetition is one of the most misunderstood forces in life. People want inspiration. They want a breakthrough. They want a big moment that changes everything. But most of life changes because of repetition. You repeat a skill until it becomes natural. You repeat a behavior until it becomes normal. You repeat a decision until it becomes your default. That is how a person becomes reliable. That is how a person becomes competent. That is how a person becomes steady. And over time, repetition stops being something you do and starts being something you are. When you repeat something long enough, you are not just doing it, you are becoming it. It starts as an activity, then it becomes a routine, then it becomes part of your identity. That is not poetry. That is how human beings are built. Your repeated actions become your character, and your character becomes your future. The reason repetition feels boring is because it is not entertaining. It is building structure. That's the hidden benefit most people miss while they're waiting on results. Here's the hidden benefit to this stage. It builds durability. Durability means you do not collapse under pressure. Durability means you can take a hit and keep moving. Durability means you can handle disappointment without quitting. Durability means you can face criticism without losing your mind. Durability is a major advantage, and it is rarely developed in the spotlight. It is developed in training and routine and in the long stretch of doing what needs to be done. And once you see durability, you stop interpreting delay as a verdict. This is where people miss what delayed results can mean. They assume delay means absence. They assume delay means failure. They assume delay means they do not have what it takes. But delay can mean depth. Delay can mean you are building a foundation instead of building a show. Delay can mean you are strengthening the part that has to hold the weight later. A weak foundation can produce a fast result, but it will not hold up when the demand increases. So if you want a life that holds up, you have to value what's being built when nobody is watching. If you want to become someone who lasts, you must learn to value the unseen stage. The unseen stage is where you build stability. The unseen stage is where you build discipline. The unseen stage is where you build skill that is dependable. The unseen stage is where you build emotional control so your moods do not run your decisions. Without that, any success you get will be unstable because you will not have the structure to support it. And with that comes a shift in what you rely on. And there's a mental shift you'll have to make. You have to stop needing outside confirmation to keep going. If you require applause to stay committed, you will always be at the mercy of the crowd. The crowd changes its attention quickly. The crowd is inconsistent. The crowd can praise you one day and ignore you the next. If your progress depends on that, you will be pulled around like a flag in the wind. So you replace applause with evidence you can verify for yourself. Instead, you must build internal reinforcement. Internal reinforcement means you know what you are doing and why you are doing it. It means you can look at your own behavior and say, this is better than last month. It means you can measure your follow-through. It means you can notice that you are stronger, steadier, more patient, and more capable, even if the outside world cannot see it yet. That is real confidence, because it is based on evidence you control. And when that becomes your standard, your definition of winning changes. A person who is serious learns to celebrate a different kind of win. Not the win of being noticed, but the win of being consistent. Not the win of being praised, but the win of being prepared. Not the win of making noise, but the win of making progress. That kind of win builds a life that does not fall apart when circumstances change. This is where you get power over your emotions instead of letting them drive the wheel. This is where emotional regulation is built. A person who cannot regulate their emotions will overreact to delays, overreact to criticism, and overreact to uncertainty. They will quit too early. They will start too many things and finish too few. They will chase comfort instead of growth. But a person who learns to stay steady in the quiet stage becomes powerful. They can handle long projects. They can handle slow development. They can handle the time it takes to do something right. And that steadiness is what depth looks like in real life. You must understand the advantage of depth. Depth means you are not easily shaken. Depth means you have practiced the basics long enough that you do not forget them under pressure. Depth means you have built habits that keep working even when you do not feel inspired. Depth means you have a foundation that can support larger opportunity when it arrives. Depth is not glamorous, but it is what holds up everything else. Which is why skipping this stage always shows up later as a problem. Many people want results without this stage, and that is why their results do not last. They get something quickly, but they cannot keep it. They get a little attention, but they cannot handle it. They get a little opportunity, but they do not have the discipline to take advantage of it. Then they call it bad luck. It was not bad luck. It was missing structure. So when you're in the slow part, treat it like what it is, preparation. So when you are in a quiet stretch, do not insult it. Do not call it nothing. Do not call it wasted. Do not call it behind. It may be the exact stage where your life is getting ready for the next level. The question is not, why is nothing happening? The better question is, what is being built in me right now that will matter later? And if you keep showing up, you'll eventually feel the payoff on the inside before anyone sees it on the outside. If you keep showing up, you will gain a kind of strength that cannot be borrowed. You will gain a kind of confidence that cannot be faked.